Hello everyone, my name is Vanessa.
Hey y'all, this is Jen.
And this is our podcast, Speak Up. What's up, Jen?
Hey girl.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Glad that we made it to episode 65.
Y'all, I can't believe we're already here. We senior citizens now, huh?
Yes. Time is just flying. For those of you that don't know, me and Jen are best friends. We create this podcast to use our voices to motivate people to overcome life's challenges through self-love and respect.
That's right. Self-love and respect. If you don't know by now, they're two core values we hold near and dear to our hearts.
Yes, most definitely. But before we get into the episode, we have a few announcements.
That's right. So we wanted to remind y'all that you can check us live and unfiltered every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, only on the Good News Radio. Download the app. You can click the link in our bio and it'll take you to download it. And that way you'll be able to engage with us through the chat, or you can call in. We love getting feedback from our listeners or just you being part of the episode in general. So make sure you tune in, y'all. We get a little bit more real in there, and there is no filter going on with ourselves. So yeah, Thursday, 7 p.m. only on the Good News Radio. Download the app through the link in our bio.
Yes, and we also have some dope guests on there as well. Also a quick shout out to our sponsor, Urban Hippie Essential. Make sure y'all tap in all natural holistic products from skincare, body care, all that. She be having me and Jen over here glowing, as you can see. Use discount code SpeakUp for 10% off. You can catch her on Instagram at urbanhippie.essentials. Click the link in her bio to get to her full website of products.
You will not be disappointed.
Yes, for real. So Jen, what is our title for today?
So y'all might be waiting or have been waiting for this one for a minute, but our episode today is called Women.
That's the title, just women.
Yeah.
And we decided to do this, we're doing for the fellas out there, titled Men, and we got a lot of good feedback on that. And it's time, me and Jen are women. We're like, we're going to go in and do an episode for the ladies today and just talk about being a woman and, just things we've learned as being women and things like that. So we got a nice little episode for y'all.
That's right. And we want to make sure that we're putting as much of our experiences in there as possible, but also just, making sure that we're holding ourselves accountable as women, because that's one thing that I feel like we don't really do a lot of. So we'll get more into that in the episode, but yeah, we're super excited to get this started.
Yes, most definitely. So first of all, I want to say I love being a woman.
Girl.
The more every day that passes, the more like I'm growing into myself, learning and growing, especially through this platform, that we've created, being able to empower others and stuff. It makes me more grateful to be a woman and just what we're capable of, the change that we bring as women, and seeing the strength that we have as women.
I agree. I would not change myself for anything else. I know they say be you because everybody else is already taken, right? But I think a lot of that has to do with my identity as being a woman. And I've been so grateful to just be able to share this womanhood, with my best friend, with my mom, like just other powerful women in my life that I've met and influential who have helped me grow, and then realizing that I can't do this by myself, that I am watching other women around me and being able to grow into the woman that I want to be as well because of that is just one of the most beautiful things I could experience.
That's true. And I love seeing when women are able to come together, it's just such a beautiful thing, despite all the oppression and things that we faced, as being women, especially being women of color, in intersectionality, obviously that plays a big role of it or whatever. But let's talk a little bit about the differences between women from today's generation versus the older generation. I feel like to start, you just seen a big shift of independence that came, the shift with women's rights, what we're able to do as women now, back then, there were barriers that were placed on women back then, and just seeing what women in the past have fought for us to have today is such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I think what I appreciate now with our generation is being able to use our voice more often. There's a lot more women not being afraid to take up space. We see it in Congress, we see it on social media, we see it even in our own households, especially being women of color. I know we've been told to shut up a lot growing up, but I think as we've gotten older and we've come together collectively, we've realized we got to have each other's back, right? And really see that there's power in our opinions, in our words, what we share with other people. And I feel like we are able to now speak for the women of older generations that maybe were not able to do that.
I love that. Also too, seeing how we make our money, we're running businesses, we're CEOs. Look at you right now with this show. Paving the way for women in the podcasting world. Let's do a lot of men do dominate in radio and things like that. And you know, I'm glad that you brought up voice, because how many times have we been hushed as women? Oh, don't speak, you're a woman. Oh, your opinion doesn't matter, you're being too emotional and things like that. And like the fact, like you said, women aren't afraid to take up space anymore shines through. I don't know, like I feel like women have always been powerful, but the oppression back then that added to it, I feel like now like women are able to shine more. And I guess the question is asked, what are we doing with this independence, you know, that we have now? You know, are we using it for good? Are we using it to better ourselves, to empower others? Or like, are we kind of like keeping it to ourselves and holding it? I think it starts with us acknowledging the power that we have as women. But we have to know that we have it first. But a lot of it comes from like how you were raised, what you were taught growing up. Yeah,
that's true. Because I know for some of us, we may feel that we have to have somebody else to depend on for either monetary value or validation in general or anything like that. But now that we do have that ability to be independent, it can go both ways, right? Because it can go to the point where it's like, oh, I don't need nobody else, and, you know, forget that and things like that. But then it can also go to the way of like, well, okay, yeah, I'm independent, but then I also want to depend on other people for certain things. And don't get me wrong, you need people, but at the same time, it's like knowing what you can be independent of is key, because I think I'm trying to find that balance as well of being too independent, of saying I got me all the time, which is cool, it's fine, it's gotten me this far, but it's like, don't be afraid to let somebody else help you when they genuinely want to help you, when they do have your back and things like that. But then also knowing that if that person no longer helps me, that I still can make it through.
Yeah, and I think needing help doesn't make us weak at all. Like, actually, it's strength to admit that you need help in the first place. And I think that's something to start with. And going off what you said, like, you know, feeling like you got you. And, you know, we said structural household. Some of us grew up having to be the man and the woman in our lives and things like that. Like, you know, yes, you know, I have a close relationship with my dad and stuff. But, you know, with my mom and dad being separated, and you know, and I was living with my mom, you know, and like being the oldest of my siblings and stuff, I see my mom be a single mom. And like me being the oldest, I had to like be the man in a lot of ways. And you know, like I didn't live with my dad, you know, in my early years, so feeling like I had to be a man for myself sometimes too, or like, you know, we said the hero, the one catching, you know, some women are playing both roles, you know, it ain't just, you know, sometimes it's not just you don't have both, you know, going on and stuff. Well, I feel like when that comes, it's hard to balance that masculine and feminine energy.
That's very true. Yeah, my mom was also a single mom when I was younger, and I watched her be both my mother and my father at the same time. So me getting older, I've just learned to just always have me no matter what. It's gotten me really far, don't get me wrong. Like, I've learned a lot about finances and who I can really trust, and don't just be calling anybody your friend, or just don't just be, you know, giving your body to just anybody. But in a lot of ways too, it's made me too self-sufficient in the terms that whenever I do meet somebody who's trying to help me, I'm always like thinking they have another agenda hidden, or that they're just gonna leave at any point or whatever. So yeah, it's really about finding that balance. But I think that's one of the biggest struggles you and I both have, that we have just learned to be our own protectors, be the ones bringing in the money for ourselves. And yeah, that independence comes with being a woman these days, but at the same time, it's like knowing when it's okay to let somebody in and try and protect you as well.
That's true. And I think as like, you know, other women in our life that are older and stuff, I feel like they teach us too how to interact with the opposite sex, you know, like, you know, how to get valued, you know, how to value yourself through it and stuff, and, you know, how to carry yourself and things like that. And I think sometimes too, when you're like a woman too, you're leading yourself with that as well. It's hard to like know when to value yourself, how to value yourself, and what direction to go. And honestly, that's a journey in itself. And I think every woman has to go through that journey of learning how to value yourself. You know, there's times where, what's the word I use? I don't take those times when I didn't value myself for granted. I think it was a purpose and all that, because like I feel like I wouldn't be the woman I am today if I didn't go through those and learn the importance of it in the first place.
I agree. I think that's one of the most beautiful things we can learn in this life, is with valuing ourselves without caring if somebody else is going to do it for us. Like that's one thing this big independent movement or whatever needs to teach us, that has to come internally. And I say this for everybody too, right? But especially for women, because I feel like a lot of us depend so much on the opinions of other people, or like, maybe I can't be too loud, or let me change my personality a little bit for this person, or whichever. But we need to stop doing that. We need to just realize that we are who we are. Yes, we can be better, work on our things, and don't bleed on other people, but we still are internally us, right? At the end of the day, you're still Vernisa, I'm still Jen. So that's okay. And I'm valuing myself no matter what. I'm loving myself, yes, for the beautiful parts of me, but I'm also loving myself for the ugly parts of me, the parts that I wish weren't a part of me. But when I do that, I'm accepting myself as a whole, and I'm realizing I don't need anybody else to do that for me, because even if I found somebody who loved me unconditionally, or I have people who love me unconditionally, if I'm not doing that for myself, it's never going to be enough. So when we learn to value ourselves, we realize we are enough. We are way more than enough.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say us. That was what it is, knowing you're enough and knowing that you are worthy. And I think, too, us as women, with valuing ourselves, too, we forget to value ourselves, because let's be real, as women, we are nurturers. We do want to care for everyone else. We try to help other people, heal people, pick each other up, but we forget to do that to ourselves. And I think that's one of the things I had to learn in my life, being the oldest, and being a woman in general, just always want to help other people. Am I helping myself? Am I valuing myself? You know? And then, am I enough? Am I worthy? And stuff, having those questions play out, but the value is that, because I feel like when you feel like you are enough, when you are valuing yourself, if somebody does come in, anyone disrespecting you, treating you a certain way, you're not going to give them the time of the day, because in the day, you know what you're worth. You have that respect for yourself or whatever. So I think it's very important that us as women, we do protect our energy. I'm reading the book, I'm a Sacred Woman. The Sacred Woman, and it's talking about like valuing yourself as a woman, valuing your womb. What do you put inside of your body, your thoughts, your energy, healing yourself as a woman. And that book really opened I really recommend that book. Like, it's opening my eyes, like, what does it mean to be a woman, and to value myself as a woman. Like, who is even coming near me? What am I doing as far as my health, and for my woman health as well? No,
that's true. We get so caught up in external things versus trying to work on ourselves internally. And y'all know we're big on self-love, inner peace, all that. But especially for us women, I feel like a lot of us are very broken, or just waiting for the next person to make us feel better and things like that. But it doesn't come from that. It all comes from you and the decisions that you're making, because life is full of that. And every decision that we make, of either a person that we allow into our space or into our body or anywhere, has a lot to do with how we finally move forward. But the thing is, you have to actively be working on yourself, no matter who's in or out of the picture. Because y'all know we couldn't do this episode without bringing this up too, right? Of dating. Dating is a big thing of being just a human being in general and having relationships, but especially as women, and of course we're talking about heterosexual women because that's what we are, the importance of dating men who are pouring back into you, because like Vernisa was saying, we are nurturers by nature, so we want to take care of people, we want to make sure they're good, but we also got to make sure we're dating people who want the same for us. It has to go both ways, and I think we're in a time where we kind of just settle for something that looks good at first, or just because it is somebody coming our way or anything like that. But no, we need to date people who actually make us feel like our cup is being poured back into, especially when we're pouring back into them.
That's true. Like, we want to feel enhanced both ways, like, we able to pour, but they're able to pour back too, because there is a lot of takers out there. A lot of people just want to rob you of that. And then going off to, what does it take to be a woman? What does it mean to be a woman? Let's be real. A lot of us women are just sexualized. So it is about the looks. Oh, she don't have this, she don't have that, her breasts, her butt, right? And, I'm glad Jen brought up the external factors of what is mean to women, but like, honestly, the internal is what matters. I feel like our real power comes from when we work on that within, right? And I think the more we fuel and work on that inside, protecting ourselves, our energy, it'll be easier for us to discern when a man isn't pouring into us. Because if we're just basing ourselves just off our sexuality, our looks and things like that, of course, if like a man's coming in and he's just applauding that about us and then just treating us like whatever, we think we're validated. Right. We're like, oh, okay, well, he's still attracted to me. But if we're working on our powerful energy, our source, we're going to be very particular about who we let near us. And I had to learn that as a woman, because I didn't. It took me some time to tap into my energy as a woman, like really knowing how powerful I am as a woman, right? I used to be just based on my looks, or just looking at other guys just for their looks and stuff like that. But now it's deeper than that. The more internal I've been going,
it's not enough anymore.
Ooh, I had the little buttons on the
right. It's okay. Sound effects coming soon. But yeah, I was like that too in high school. I'm not saying I went for the most popular or the best looking, but looks mattered a lot more to me now, more to me back then. But now it's more of like, yeah, you know, I got to be attracted to you, but it ain't everything. Like, I can have a man who tells me how beautiful I am every day, but if he's not making me feel that way, why am I wasting my time with him? You know, and this is why too, we're holding men accountable in this episode as well. Just like we were holding women accountable in our men episode, it's the same thing here of men, don't be afraid to pour into your woman. If you found that one that you know you want to be with, that you know she's the one who's never made you feel this way, or you want to be a better person for her since you met her, things like that, it's okay to pour into her. Like, it's more work trying to keep one person happy, but it's more rewarding at the same time too. And knowing too that if you treat your woman better, she'll treat you better too. Like, it goes both ways, right? Of course, if the situation is healthy and y'all both really want this, but I think there's nothing more beautiful than both pouring back into each other and bringing out the best in each other. And when we're holding men accountable to this as well, I think it requires a lot of inner work that isn't being done by both parties. So I just wanted to put that out there too, yeah, because men, like, you know, some of the men that I've met, yeah, everybody's broken, everybody goes through things, but there's a lot more stigma around men trying to do the inner work. So we're letting y'all know it's okay to do that inner work so that you can be a better partner for your person.
That's true. And going off the accountability, some things I want to add in. Like,
girl, do it.
Us women too, we want to feel protected. You know, we want to feel like, we want to feel safe in a safe space. Like, allow us that safe space to feel vulnerable, to feel emotional. We are emotional beings. Allow us to feel safe and protected to where we want to show you our nurturing side. You know, like Jen said, you treat us good, we're gonna treat you even better. And I think that's something that's somebody, right, it goes with that inner work. And if you're not doing the inner work, how are you going to even allow yourself to, like, you know, protect us, whatever. And another thing, women, I'm sorry, we're amazing. I'm gonna throw that in there. I'm not being biased either, but
a little bit.
I know. There's so much you can learn from us too as women, and I feel like as men too, don't be afraid to learn from a woman and stuff. But it comes from that inner work, because, you know, when you're not doing it, your ego is taking over. So that's why when, like, I feel like when certain men do meet, you know, strong women, or women full of wisdom, they don't know what to do and stuff, because, like, that ego's taking over. It's like they feel like they have to feel superior, or like, I got to be the one teaching her things. I can't learn from her, or she's just responsible for just that sexual stuff or being domestic things. No. You know, I feel like there's so much more, and I think that's how relationships grow, when you can learn from one another, and, like, you guys are both enhancing each other. But I think that's the little things I had to throw in for that.
That's true, yeah. And I'm glad you touched up on the emotional part too, right? Because yes, we do process things differently. I know sometimes
more extreme too.
Right? Yes, and but I think that's the beautiful part about being a woman, because when you think logically, yes, you have a certain perspective, you may be open to certain things, but when you think emotionally with your heart too, there's a whole other different perspective on there. And then sometimes only you understand that perspective, only you understand where your heart's going and why it's so hard for you to either move on, or why a certain person makes you feel a certain way, or why you have certain dreams and you're so passionate about them. Like, I think this is what makes us well balanced when we start to really work on it. Of course, finding the balance of, like, your heart versus your mind, I think, is really tricky
every day.
Yeah, and something I'm still struggling with. I tend to let my heart win more often, but it's beautiful though, because I feel like we get to tap into two different sides. You know, I know sometimes they say, like, oh, we're either more logical or more emotional, but when you're like a woman, especially, and you're becoming more in tune with yourself, you have the capacity to do both. And sometimes using both at the same time actually allows you for the bigger picture and to think more logically in the long run, but also knowing that you have that other side of you that is more emotional, but is able to provide you that guidance as well.
I love that. And also, women, use your intuition. Listen to it. I used to be scared of my intuition. I used to be like, what, you know, I didn't know what it was. You know, like, what is that? Why am I thinking like anything would come true? But no, like, it's something beautiful about when you actually listen to and just allow that all to come full surface. And, like, don't ignore those gut feelings when you do feel a negative vibe about a person, or you do feel something good, because in the day too, we got as nurturing and emotional as we can be. We got to be careful about who we use. And I had to learn that the hard way. Like, I was like, "Ooh, I care about you. I'm pouring it all." You know, no. Like, it's about being. It's not. And Jen told me this too. Like, you know, everyone knows how I am, like all nice and loving, whatever. But, you know, I used to, in front of Jen, I used to shame myself for being so loving. Like, oh, I'm so nice. I need to stop being like that, so loving. And Jen used to say, be careful. She's like, no, that's nothing. It's a beautiful thing about you that you're like that. But know who to do that with, who to use that on. And I think changing that perspective, I'm not attacking myself anymore for something that I am, you know, being who I am.
Right. There's nothing wrong with being a loving person. I think we need more loving people anyway. So I'm glad I get to claim you as my best friend.
Right, likewise.
She's taking y'all, so.
Yeah, all the way.
But yeah, like, I think we need more people like that. But yeah, it's just more of knowing how to process our emotions a little bit better, a little bit differently. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with us. It just means, if anything, there's something that other person needs to work on, right? But it doesn't mean we need to change or become more cold-hearted or anything like that. Being more cautious, there's a difference. But being mean because somebody else hurt you and now you're trying to do that hurt back, I think that's when it becomes a problem. But just more of like, all right, you know, let me just watch how this person is first, and then I'll be able to do something and decide if I want to continue being loving on this person or not. But there's nothing wrong with the way we love or the way we care for other people. It's more about like us deciding what we want to do with that.
Oh, I'm glad that you brought that up. Another thing I want to throw into it, like another topic, is, you know, let's stop looking for the flaws in each other and bringing each other down. Us as women, it's something beautiful. Like I said earlier, it's for us to, you know, come together and bring things. But there's a lot of that, us women, or even in movies, they put that narrative of women always being catty, or like, they never show healthy friendships with women. So you notice it's like, they'll be best friends or friends, but then it's like something, now it's about, it's over a guy or something happens. It's showing that women can't be loyal to each other. And I'm sorry, me and Jen are breaking that whole notion of that. That is just a myth. Like, there's times like I'm talking to people about my best friend, and people be so shocked, like, oh, do y'all, like, they're like looking for the negative of it, like, oh, did you guys fight, or did you guys do this, or have you? And like, when I tell them, you know, or people just see our friendship, people still don't believe. But it's like, I feel like I hate that it's such a it's like surreal to people when they find out like women are getting along, women are coming together and stuff. It has to be a problem, or a guy ain't got involved. That's probably right. But it's like, no, like, we need to be able to pour into each other too as women. Yeah,
because that's the thing too, right? I'd say this for myself more. With experience in being a better woman, I've learned to become a better friend too. Because I've been, you know, I wouldn't say a bad friend, but I haven't been the best of a friend. But even in our almost 10 years of friendship, like, I've learned to be a better friend, connect more in my womanhood so that I can serve you as my best friend. And I think we need to talk about that more often, because most of the time we think that our identity is tied to just dating and things like that, but we have other relationships in our lives that we need to nurture. And I think one of the best things that you can experience as a woman is having a best friend that you can go to. And if y'all are both women and you're able to connect with each other and really realize that bond is there, even though y'all both ain't perfect and the connection isn't perfect itself, but you're both willing to fight for it and grow together as women, then you're going to grow together as friends as well. And I'm sorry, like, being able to grow alongside you for the past 10 years has been one of the best things in my life, because I know I got you, but I know you got me too.
Same here. And it's like, you know, knowing that bond's strong enough to where, like, you know, those little petty things can't break it apart, you know, because that is always a narrative, like, oh, this happened, we normalize that. And it's like, I don't know, I'm grateful for this friendship too. Like, it allowed me to tap into that too. Let's empower other women. Like, I'm grateful I could be on the platform with my best friend, empowering other women too, you know, and it's something, it's beauty about that, when we can all pour into each other and bring each other up, instead of, it's enough. The world's already trying to break women down as it is, you know, but if we breaking each other down as women, damn, then the world is winning. In that case. There's room for all of us, right? I say this for everything in life, but especially for us women. There's this like quote, I don't know it exactly, but I think I've said it before. It says, like, a rose isn't concerned if a sunflower is growing next to it. It just blooms. So it's the same thing with all of us. If y'all know me, I love flowers. So I love comparing everything to flowers if I can, but every woman is a flower. So why are we so concerned about being a rose and a sunflower and a Delilah and a daisy and all this stuff, when at the end of the day, there's room for every single one of us. We're all unique in our different ways. No two roses are the same. If you look at them, even if they're both red roses, come from the same garden or whichever, they're not the same. So it's the same thing with us women. So why can't we just bring each other up and let each other bloom? And I actually would rather see us women win, because then we
can present ourselves as a united front and realize there's actually more power within us than the world is trying to let us see. But when we're just too busy trying to bring each other down, is that actually making us even grow individually? Like if I'm over here attacking a woman for something because I'm intimidated by her, or, you know, I don't want to admit that she's better than me or whichever, then how is that helping me grow in trying to bring her down? So we should just bring each other up and then realize like, dang, you know, I really am helping somebody become either a better person, or I'm really getting to know this dope ass woman because I'm giving her a chance versus trying to attack her and bring her down. So there's definitely room for all of us. We need to just make it seen, be open to each other's company, and just realize like there is power in all of us coming together.
Oh, that's so true. And like us women, we are the influence. We bring life into this world. So yeah, if us all as women are acting the way we are, that's bringing that, you know. And it's like, not to put the pressure on women, but we, you know, we do that. We bring that life, you know. So it's like we have to be there, and let's normalize compliments. Let's compliment each other versus like, oh, look at her, she thinks she's cute. Like all that hate and stuff, turn that, transmute that into admiration. Admire a woman. Tell a woman she looks good today, her shoes are cute, whatever, you know. Motivate her, you know. And it's like, I'm just sick of like, you know, it's like a norm, like a girl thinks another girl's cute and it's like, oh, I'm gonna be mean to her,
right.
Or like a guy walks in, I gotta look cuter than her to get the dude. Like, no, we're gonna stop that today. Like, let's all empower and love each other. And everything too, women, we need more safe spaces for us to come together and be able to have these talks, whether it is about just women health. I want to talk about our periods.
Yes.
Talk about talk about healthier ways to eat as a woman, you know, ways to think, you know, enhancing more circles about how to find healthier relationships and stuff. Shoot, I've been needing to learn that, you know, how to be, what does it mean to be a woman, to be, you know, to do your part as a woman in a relationship with anybody. Yeah.
And having that with each other, like you were saying, if you know us for a while, then you know we were big into doing workshops specifically for women, and we still deeply believe in that because it's a space for us to just be safe, free of judgment, and just be authentically ourselves. And I love it because it can be women of all ages, right? When we create that safe space for each other, I can still learn from a 5-year-old girl and learn from a 65-year-old woman as well. Like, there's nothing wrong with coming together and sharing our stories, sharing our experiences, and realizing how can we help each other. And maybe if we can't, then at least lending an ear to each other and knowing that I got you, I understand you, I am woman just like you.
I love that. And you know, there's value of seeking wisdom from women to even, you know, like you said, older, younger, older. And it's like, you know, with me, of course, like, you know, everyone knows, like, you know, I've been always working on a relationship with my mom and stuff. But in the day, like, it doesn't have to be a parent. It doesn't have to be a grandparent. You know, there's a, you know, like, whether it is like a woman that you work with, a woman you see all the time, whatever, like, you know, it's so much wisdom in like women that have been here longer than us too, like, you know, they can, I love learning and like seeing like what else I can do and stuff, because we don't know everything, right? But when you can allow someone to like share their knowledge with you and like help you grow and stuff, it's something beautiful about that, you know. And honestly, y'all, how does this relate to self-love? Women, I love being a woman. Let's start there. But no, honestly, being the best woman that you can be is self-love. You know, working on that every day, learning those lessons, not judging yourself, unapologetically being you.
Yeah. How can you tell me this doesn't relate to self-love,
this is
right?
It right here. Woo!
I mean, yeah, we are women. Like, I think that is the title that I'm most proud to carry with myself, that I am a woman. And what that encompasses under that word is so powerful. But it's a matter of, discovering what that means to me. Because even my definition may be different from every other woman out there. And just knowing that it's my definition alone because it's been my journey alone, and me having to spend those times by myself so that I can be a better woman for the world, and, you know, my best friend, my relationships that I have, like, just knowing that I have the power to choose how much of a woman I want to be, or how much of a powerful woman, or unapologetic, or any other adjective in front of the word woman. That is the ultimate power of self-love, and that's why it matters, because you are still you no matter what happens in your life. If you identify as a woman, you are a woman no matter what. So you need to work on what that definition means to you, and then realizing how that relates to the self-love that you need to pour back into you.
Oh, I hope y'all are taking notes. End of the day, we're powerful. Let's embrace it. Like, just embrace it. And you know what, too? Women out there, be an inspiration for women younger than you. Like, you know, I have 2 little sisters. I have 2 nieces. You know, I want to be able to, you know, to shine bright for them, too, and show them, you know, and pour in what I can. Like, in the day, the generation just keep moving and moving, but let's keep pouring back so women can grow and be the best they can be as well.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's no secret that even these younger girls, they're going to experience certain things that a lot of us who are older have experienced or are currently experiencing, right? Unfortunately, some of us as even young girls, we got exposed to a lot of trauma in our childhood, or maybe certain experiences that were not suitable for young girls, you know, different things like that. So when we use that and transmute it into something better, now that we're older, we can help these younger girls who may either go through something like that or prevent them from going through something like that too, right? Because we're not born with all that wisdom. So if we have younger girls looking to us and asking us for that advice and we can actually help, I think that's key in creating a better generation of women as well, who are growing up, yes, making their own mistakes and, you know, not judging them for it, but them knowing that there's others who have come before them and who are willing to help them no matter what.
That's true, because I feel like we all know what it feels like to be alone. I feel like there's no one you could talk to or open up to about it, you know. So it's bomb to be that, you know, to be able to be that for other people out there, you know. And everything, ladies, your standards are not too high, so don't let someone who feeling lack of blah blah blah. If you really been working on yourself and you know you have these standards up and you're pouring into yourself, don't let someone who hasn't been come in and make it seem like you're asking for too much. That's just somebody wanting you to lower that down so they can come in and disturb you. Disturb your peace.
Don't let no dusty ass person tell you
in general.
Yeah, that your standards are too high or your expectations are too high. I remember I had somebody tell me that one time, and at first I was like, you know, maybe they are, but then I realized, no, your standards are just too low. That's the problem. You are mad that I know my self-worth, that I value myself enough to want to better, but because I can uphold those standards for myself, so I'm expecting you to uphold them too. But if you think my standards are too high, then you're not the one for me. That's the thing. Yes, they are high, because at the end of the day, I hold myself to that. So I want to make sure that whoever I end up with, whether it is a friend, a romantic partner, or even a family member around me, I want to make sure that they're on that same level too.
Hope y'all were listening to that. We all been there. But don't let nobody give you the little scam to switch it back. No, that's just an excuse so they can stay where they are and not feel like they need to grow. And honestly, ladies, don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Whether it is your craft, your passion, what else, education, all that.
And you know, when we say education too, it's not just like going to an institution and paying all this debt and things like, no, it's like educating yourself on books. I'm a big fan of reading, and it can be all types of reading. It can be fiction, it can be personal development, it can be finances, whatever it is that you want to do, but never stop learning. I'm big on that, and that's what we mean when we say invest in your education, but in yourself in general. Like, don't be afraid. If you want to look good, go look good. You want to get your nails done, your hair done, you want to put more makeup on today, like, there's nothing wrong with that. But you also don't want to do any of that and you still feel confident, do that too. There's nothing wrong with that. Wear what you want to wear if it makes you feel good, and this is the most authentic you.
That's true. And while you're going through it, keep your crown on at all times. Don't let nobody knock it off. And if it does come off, be a woman, help another girl pick her crown back up. That's what we're here to do, right?
Yes, we need to stand together. Yes.
Stand together. But before we go, we got a announcement for our sponsor.
Yes, we just got to remind y'all, go check out our wonderful sponsor, Urban Hippie Essentials. She is your go-to for all natural skincare products that are designed to make you glow. As y'all can see, we are glowing literally every single day. I feel like I wake up every day and I'm shocked at how well my skin is just you know, but like, her products are just top notch. I'm also trying the lash serum and the eyebrow serum, and I've been super happy with it. But she has all kinds of skincare products on there that you can check out. Her Instagram is at urbanhippie.essentials, and use our code SpeakUp for 10% off your purchase. I promise you will not be disappointed. This is the best skincare routine I've ever tried, and I don't think I'm ever going back.
Yeah, same. And we appreciate y'all tapping into our 65th episode. Women, hope y'all was listening. You can check us out on Instagram at SpeakUpJV. Check us out on Twitter at SpeakUpJV. Tweet us. Look out for updates. Check us out every Thursday on the Good News Radio, 7 p.m. live. Down the Good News Radio app. We're also on Spotify, Podbean, Apple, whatever, everything. SpeakUpJV is global and worldwide. Tell your friends about it. Shoot. Comment if you like the video, and we will see y'all soon. Love y'all.
Love y'all.